Do you often feel broken by the words of those who should love you? Is the weight of constant criticism making you feel like a failure? If you can relate, you're not alone. Emily knows this pain all too well. Every day her family's harsh words cut deep, leaving her feeling lost and unwanted. But what if you could escape that pain? What if you could find the strength to stand up for yourself and change your life? Emily makes a bold choice to leave everything behind in search of freedom and revenge. Her journey will test her in ways she never imagined. Will she find the strength to confront her past, or will she be consumed by her desire for revenge? Join Emily as she discovers the power of resilience and the true meaning of family. Chapter 1. The Weight of Criticism. Emily sat at the dinner table, feeling nervous and small. Her father stared at her, ready to criticize her for anything she did. "Why can't you be more like your sister?" he asked, making her heart sink. His words felt like daggers cutting through her self-esteem. Emily looked down at her plate, pushing the food around with her fork. She wanted to disappear and escape the pain. Her mother often stayed quiet, but she would nod in agreement. "You need to try harder, Emily," she would say, adding to Emily's sadness. Each word felt like a heavy stone, pushing her down deeper. Emily wished her parents could see her for who she really was. She felt like a ghost in her own home, unseen and unloved. Each mean comment echoed in her mind, filling her with doubt. Days turned into weeks, and the hurtful words became routine. She started to believe that maybe they were right. Maybe she would never be good enough for them. To escape the pain, she would go to her room. There, she looked at posters of adventure and freedom on her walls. They showed places she dreamed of visiting, far away from her current life. One day, she whispered to herself, "I will be free from this place." She imagined herself exploring new worlds, far from the criticism that haunted her daily. Hope began to grow inside her. The thought of leaving began to take shape in her mind. What if she could run away and find a better life? The idea was both scary and exciting, a small spark of hope in her dark world. Every night, Emily gazed out her window at the stars. "I want to live for myself," she thought, feeling a rush of courage. It was time to take control of her life and make a change. One night, after another round of hurtful words, she reached her breaking point. "I can't do this anymore," she cried, tears streaming down her face. The weight of her family's expectations felt unbearable. With newfound strength, she packed a small bag with clothes. She included her favorite book, ready to leave everything behind. As she opened the door, a wave of fear washed over her. What if she failed? What if she couldn't make it on her own? But deep down, she knew she had to try and find her own path. With each step away from her home, she felt a mix of fear and freedom. The cool night air wrapped around her like a comforting blanket. For the first time in years, she felt alive and hopeful. Emily walked for hours, the city lights twinkling like stars. She was leaving behind the pain of her family, ready to find her own way. The streets were unfamiliar, but she felt a thrill at the unknown. As dawn broke, she found herself on the outskirts of the city, tired and alone. The reality of her choice hit her hard. What now? She wondered, feeling unsure about her future. She had left everything she knew behind, facing a world full of possibilities. The road ahead was uncertain, but she was determined. She would discover her true self, no matter what challenges awaited her. Chapter 2. A New Beginning. The sun rose higher, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. Emily felt the warmth on her skin as she walked through the unfamiliar streets. Each step brought a mix of excitement and fear. She wandered into a small cafe, drawn by the smell of fresh coffee. The place was cozy, filled with the chatter of people enjoying their morning. Emily hesitated at the door, unsure if she should enter. Taking a deep breath, she pushed the door open and stepped inside. The bell above jingled, catching the attention of the barista. "Welcome. What can I get for you?" he asked with a friendly smile. Emily smiled back, her nerves easing slightly. "Just a hot chocolate, please," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. She felt a sense of normalcy wash over her as she waited. Sitting down at a corner table, she took a moment to breathe. The cafe felt like a safe haven, a place where she could think. She watched people come and go, each with their own stories. As she sipped her drink, Emily felt a flicker of hope. Maybe this was the beginning of something new and exciting. She opened her bag and took out her favorite book, flipping through the pages. The story transported her to another world, filling her with inspiration. She imagined herself as the hero, overcoming challenges and finding her place. For the first time, she felt a sense of purpose. After finishing her drink, Emily decided to explore the city. She stepped outside, feeling the cool breeze against her skin. The streets were alive with activity, and she wanted to be a part of it. As she wandered, she came across a park filled with vibrant flowers and laughter. Children played on swings, and couples strolled hand in hand. Emily felt a pang of longing for the happiness she saw around her. She found a bench and sat down, watching the world go by. The park felt peaceful, a contrast to the chaos she had left behind. In this moment, she realized she was free to create her own happiness. Suddenly, a stray dog approached her, wagging its tail. Emily smiled as it nuzzled against her leg, seeking affection. "Hey there, buddy," she said, petting the dog gently. The dog seemed to sense her loneliness and stayed by her side. Emily laughed softly, feeling a connection with the little creature. Maybe we're both looking for a friend, she thought. Inspired by the dog's spirit, she decided to name him Max. They would be partners in this new adventure together. Emily felt a sense of joy she hadn't experienced in a long time. With Max by her side, she continued exploring the city. They visited shops and parks, discovering hidden gems along the way. Emily felt alive, embracing the freedom that came with each new experience. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the city, Emily found a quiet spot. She sat on the grass, watching the sky change colors. "This is my new beginning," she whispered to Max, feeling hopeful about the future. Chapter 3: Facing the Unknown. The next morning, Emily woke up to the sound of birds chirping outside. Max lay curled up at her feet, his presence comforting. She felt a sense of peace as she stretched and prepared for the day ahead. After a quick breakfast, Emily decided it was time to find a job. She needed to support herself and build a new life. With Max by her side, she set out to explore the neighborhood. The streets were bustling with activity as people hurried to work. Emily felt a mix of excitement and anxiety about what lay ahead. She stopped at a local bookstore, drawn by the scent of paper and ink. Inside, the shelves were lined with stories waiting to be discovered. Emily felt at home among the books, their pages whispering secrets. She approached the counter, where a kind woman greeted her. "Can I help you with something?" the woman asked, her smile warm. Emily hesitated but then gathered her courage. "I'm looking for a job," she said, her voice steady despite her nerves. The woman's eyes lit up with interest. "We could use an extra hand around here," she replied. "What's your name?" "I'm Emily," she said, feeling a spark of hope. They discussed the details, and soon Emily found herself in a part-time position. It felt like a step toward independence. As she started working, Emily discovered a love for books she never knew she had. Each title she shelved or recommended brought her joy. She felt a sense of belonging in the cozy atmosphere. Max would often accompany her to the bookstore, lounging at her feet while she worked. Customers would stop to pet him, and he quickly became a favorite among the regulars. Emily smiled at the happiness he brought to others. One afternoon, a young girl approached Emily with wide eyes. "Can I help you pick a book for my birthday?" she asked excitedly. Emily knelt down, eager to assist her. Together, they browsed the shelves, discussing their favorite stories. Emily felt a warmth in her heart as she watched the girl's face light up with excitement. "This one is perfect," she exclaimed, holding up a colorful book. After the girl left, Emily reflected on how much joy her new job brought her. She felt useful and appreciated, a stark contrast to her previous life. Each day was filled with small victories. However, doubt still lingered in the back of her mind. What if her family found her? What if they came looking for her? The fear of being discovered sometimes overshadowed her newfound happiness. One evening, as she closed the bookstore, Emily noticed a familiar figure outside. Her heart raced as she recognized her sister, Sarah, standing there with a worried expression. "Emily," Sarah called, her voice filled with concern. Emily felt a wave of panic wash over her. She hadn't expected to see anyone from home so soon. "What are you doing here?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Mom and Dad are worried about you," Sarah replied, stepping closer. "I came to find you. Please come home." Emily's heart ached at the thought of returning to that life. "I can't go back," she said firmly, shaking her head. "I need to find my own way, Sarah. I'm happy here." The determination in her voice surprised even herself. Sarah looked hurt, but also understanding. "I just want you to be safe," she said softly. "I miss you." Emily felt a pang of guilt, but knew she couldn't go back to that life. "I miss you too," Emily admitted, her voice breaking. "But I need this time for myself. I hope you can understand." The two sisters shared a moment of silence, the weight of their emotions hanging in the air. Chapter 4. The Choice. The silence between Emily and Sarah felt heavy, filled with unspoken words. Emily's heart raced as she struggled to find the right thing to say. "I need to be free, Sarah," she finally whispered, her voice trembling. Sarah's expression shifted, a mix of sadness and understanding. "I get it, but I'm scared for you," she replied softly. "You don't know what's out there." "I know it's risky," Emily admitted, her heart aching. "But I can't live under their expectations anymore. I have to try." The determination in her voice surprised even her. Sarah took a deep breath, searching for the right words. "Mom and Dad won't change. You know that," she said, her eyes pleading. "But I want you to be safe." Emily nodded, feeling the weight of her sister's concern. "I appreciate that, but I need to find my own path," she said firmly. "This is my chance to discover who I really am." A tear slipped down Sarah's cheek, and Emily felt a pang of guilt. "I don't want to lose you," Sarah said, her voice breaking. The love between them was palpable, yet so was the distance. "You won't lose me," Emily reassured her, stepping closer. "I'll always be your sister, no matter where I am. I just need this time to grow." Sarah wiped her tears, trying to be strong. "Promise me you'll take care of yourself," she said, her voice steadying. "I'll be here if you need me. "I promise," Emily replied, feeling a sense of relief. They shared a brief hug, holding on to each other tightly. In that moment, Emily felt the strength of their bond. As Sarah turned to leave, Emily felt a mix of sadness and hope. She watched her sister walk away, knowing that this was a turning point in her life. The choice to stay away was painful but necessary. Returning to the bookstore, Emily felt a renewed sense of purpose. She threw herself into her work, finding joy in helping customers discover new stories. Each day brought new challenges and triumphs. Max remained by her side, his playful energy lifting her spirits. He had become her loyal companion, sharing in her adventures and comforting her during tough times. Together, they explored the city and formed a new routine. One afternoon, while shelving books, Emily overheard a conversation between two customers. They spoke of a local writing contest, and Emily's heart raced at the thought. Writing had always been her passion, but she had never shared it with anyone. The contest was open to all, offering a chance for aspiring writers to showcase their work. Emily felt a surge of excitement but also fear. What if her writing wasn't good enough? After work, she sat at her desk, staring at a blank page. The words flooded her mind, memories of her struggles and triumphs pouring out. She began to write, feeling the weight of her emotions lift with each sentence. As the days passed, Emily dedicated herself to her writing. She poured her heart into the pages, crafting a story that reflected her journey. It was both cathartic and empowering. Max would curl up beside her, providing silent support as she wrote late into the night. With every word, Emily felt more confident, reclaiming her voice and her story. The deadline for the contest approached, and Emily felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. She knew this was her chance to share her journey with the world. "I can do this," she whispered to herself, determination flooding her veins. Finally, the day arrived to submit her entry. Emily stood in front of the bookstore, holding her manuscript tightly. With a deep breath, she walked inside, ready to take the leap into the unknown. Chapter 6. The Unveiling. The day of the writing contest arrived, and Emily felt a whirlwind of emotions. She stood in front of the venue, her heart racing with anticipation and fear. Max sat beside her, sensing her anxiety and offering quiet support. As she entered the building, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement. Writers and readers mingled, sharing their stories and dreams. Emily felt a mix of inspiration and intimidation as she took in the scene. She found a corner to gather her thoughts, clutching her manuscript tightly. The words she had written felt like a piece of her soul, and she hoped others would see that. "Just be yourself," she reminded herself, taking a deep breath. Soon, it was time for the readings to begin. Contestants were called up one by one, sharing their work with the audience. Emily listened intently, captivated by the diverse voices around her. When her name was finally called, a wave of nerves washed over her. She felt the weight of every eye in the room on her as she approached the microphone. "You can do this," she whispered, glancing at Max for reassurance. Taking a deep breath, Emily began to read her story. The words flowed from her lips, each sentence resonating with her journey of self-discovery. She spoke about her struggles, her fears, and the hope she had found. As she read, she noticed the audience's reactions. Some nodded in understanding, while others wiped away tears. Emily felt a surge of confidence, realizing her story was connecting with them. When she finished, the room erupted in applause. A sense of relief washed over her, and she stepped away from the microphone, heart pounding. I did it, she thought, a smile breaking across her face. After the readings, the judges deliberated, and Emily mingled with other writers. She exchanged stories and experiences, feeling a sense of camaraderie. For the first time, she felt like she belonged in this creative community. As the winners were announced, Emily held her breath, her heart racing. When her name was called for an honorable mention, she felt a mix of shock and joy. The applause felt like a warm embrace, filling her with pride. She accepted the recognition with gratitude, her heart swelling with accomplishment. This is just the beginning, she thought, feeling a sense of purpose ignite within her. The experience had reignited her passion for writing. After the ceremony, Emily took a moment to reflect on her journey. She had faced her fears and shared her story with the world. The support from the audience reminded her that she was not alone in her struggles. Max wagged his tail, sensing her happiness as they left the venue together. Emily felt lighter, as if a weight had been lifted from her shoulders. "We did it, buddy," she said, ruffling his fur affectionately. With renewed determination, Emily decided to pursue writing more seriously. She began to explore local writing groups and workshops, eager to hone her craft. Each step felt like a leap toward her dreams. As weeks turned into months, Emily continued to write and grow. She found joy in sharing her work and connecting with fellow writers. The community embraced her, and she felt a sense of belonging. One evening, while attending a workshop, she met a fellow writer named Jake. He was passionate and encouraging, and they quickly formed a bond over their shared love for storytelling. Emily felt a spark of inspiration with him. Their friendship blossomed, and they began to collaborate on projects together. Jake's enthusiasm fueled Emily's creativity, pushing her to explore new ideas and styles. She felt invigorated, ready to take on new challenges. Chapter 7. A New Horizon. As summer faded into autumn, Emily found herself thriving in her new life. Her writing flourished, and she had developed a routine that filled her days with creativity and joy. Max remained her faithful companion, always by her side. With Jake's encouragement, Emily decided to submit her work to several literary magazines. Each submission felt like a leap of faith, an affirmation of her journey. She was ready to share her voice with the world. One crisp morning, as she sipped her coffee, an email notification popped up on her screen. Her heart raced as she opened it, and her breath caught in her throat. "Congratulations! Your piece has been accepted for publication." Tears of joy filled her eyes as she read the words again. This was the moment she had dreamed of, a validation of her hard work and determination. "I can't believe it," she exclaimed, hugging Max tightly. The news spread quickly among her friends and fellow writers, who celebrated her achievement. Emily felt a sense of belonging and support that she had longed for. Each congratulatory message fueled her passion even more. As the publication date approached, Emily prepared for her first book signing event. The thought of sharing her story with others filled her with excitement and nervousness. She wanted to inspire others, just as she had been inspired. On the day of the signing, the bookstore was filled with familiar faces. Friends, fellow writers, and even some of the customers she had helped gather to support her. Emily felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. She stood at a table adorned with her book, a tangible representation of her journey. As she greeted each person, sharing her story and signing copies, she felt a deep connection with her audience. "Your story touched me," one woman said, her eyes glistening with emotion. Emily smiled, realizing the power of sharing her experiences. It was moments like these that made her journey worthwhile. After the event, Emily took a moment to reflect on how far she had come. She thought of the fears that had once held her back and the strength she had discovered within herself. "I'm proud of who I've become," she whispered to Max. With each passing day, Emily continued to write and explore new ideas. She felt a sense of freedom in her creativity, unburdened by the past. The world was full of possibilities, and she was ready to embrace them. One evening, as she walked through the park with Max, she spotted a group of children playing. Their laughter echoed in the air, reminding her of the innocence and joy of childhood. She felt a desire to share her story with the younger generation. Inspired, Emily began volunteering at a local community center, teaching creative writing workshops for kids. She wanted to encourage them to find their voices and express themselves through words. The experience was rewarding, and Emily found joy in nurturing young talent. She watched as the children blossomed, their imaginations taking flight. Each workshop filled her with hope for the future. As the seasons changed, so did Emily's perspective on life. She realized that her journey was not just about finding herself, but also about helping others along the way. She felt a deep sense of purpose in her work. One day, while reflecting on her journey, Emily penned a letter to her parents. She wanted to share her experiences and the growth she had achieved. It was a step toward healing old wounds and opening a new chapter. With Max by her side, she mailed the letter, feeling a mix of anxiety and hope. "Whatever happens, I'm ready," she thought, embracing the uncertainty of the future. She had learned to trust herself in her journey. As she looked up at the sky, painted in hues of orange and pink, Emily felt a sense of peace. She had faced her fears, discovered her passion, and built a life filled with love and creativity. "This is just the beginning," she whispered, smiling at the horizon.